Hello, Fluffy. I'm still setting this tablet that is looking a bit confusing. I'm a bit with a cough as well. So I did brought some tea just in case, but I will try to not choke on my words. This is very, it's very fitting for me to still have a cough in Gemini season where I need to communicate the most. And I do have a lot to say. I do have a lot to say, a lot to read, a lot of Gemini idols. I did separate, hey Hope, I did separate, you know, a few people for today. And on Sunday, I'm going to continue. So don't panic if your bias is not in there. Thank you so much to Katie for the super thanks or the super, is it super thanks or super chat? I believe it's super thanks, but thank you, Katie. And yes, Suho is the first one in the list. So yeah, he's included in today live stream. There are a lot of Gemini. For today, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Gemini people. For Sunday, the ones pendant, I have so far 7 for Sunday. So a lot. This includes actors, actresses, of course, not just idols. But also before I start reading for the Gemini idols, I'm going to read specifically for this actor, the actor and the actress of the glory that they are dating in real life, the one that played the role of the bully, the actress Lim Ji-yeon, and the actor Lee Dohyun, I believe is his name, that he just finished his military service. So I'm able to read for the both of them. Let's do an update to see the relationship, how he's doing now that he's back, and what's available for them. So it's nice. It's a nice topic. And then I'm going to also read for this group for Lapilus that, I do have few people in my channel that they do support the group and they want to know if they're going to have a comeback this year. And I took the liberty. This is something that I did, I did on my own, because I was just watching that I don't remember the name of this YouTube channel, the one with the tarot reader, the one that reads for celebrities, for Korean celebrities. He had as a guest today, I watched the video with Kim Jae-jung, former TVSQ member, Kim Jae-jung. And I usually disagree a lot with the way he has been reading cards. I'm like, I don't like it. But I mean, there were one of those readings about his future projects or the future of the company that the cards were very positive and he was able to pick the energy in this. I think that he was very correct in the way he delivered the message. Dahyun, yes. But, I want to add my 2 cents, my own personal interpretation to a question that Dahyun did on this show, that then I want to share the link on Discord, so you guys can watch it. Because first he did ask if about marriage. He asked if he was going to get married before he turns 40. And he pulled 3 cards. The cards were very straightforward. I would say if I was the reader, I would have, give a different message, because almost all the cards are all about, all being open to love and to give and receive, I would say. And I also saw someone in there, he got these cards, the combination of these three cards. But and then the person, the reader, he pulled an extra card to clarify this, and he got the Three of Swords. So I want to give my own, just like I remember I did this, I believe it was for NCT Jongho, when he also went to a show and there was a tarot reader that he got the Hierophant, I believe, the company card for me. And he was like, oh, this is the leader. The Hierophant, the Pope, this is the leader. And he was blaming everything on Taeyeon in that reading. Not him, the reader. He was expressing this. I was so shocked that I wanted to give also my 2 cents about that reading. Of course, that is true that to each reader, each interpretation. This is why sometimes when I do have, some people that they're like, I pull some cards and I got this, and they want me to, or probably they got a reading with someone else and they want me to reinterpret what is in the cards. And I was like, yeah, I could do that, but actually, if the message was already delivered to you, it is what the person said. But in this case, since this is on a YouTube channel and it was, the same celebrity, the same Kim Dae-jung, the one that pulled these cards, I'm going to take the liberty to to give it my own interpretation to the cards that he pulled. Because the cards are so much about, he could potentially meet someone very important. He could potentially find love, fall in love before he turns 40. And I believe that we are not that far away from him turning 40, actually, because I believe he's 86 liner, I'm 85. I already have 40. So I believe that probably in January of next year, he's going to be finally the 40, that that age that some people, they do get a bit, oh, I'm turning 40, and it's not the end of the world. But what I did find interesting, and not only about the part about this man, because Jejun did ask him how long he has been doing this, and if he had studied to read tarot. And this person, the MC, the owner of the channel, he was like, yeah, I studied for 4 or 5 months. He studied tarot. So just like, we seen in possessed love, it seems like, for you to be a tarot master, 4 or 5 months is enough. And also, well, he added that this is true, that, besides him studying, that, to each person, you do give it your own interpretation. Like, besides, knowing what the cards mean and everything, that it's up to the reader what they see. And in this aspect is true, but also um, is tricky. It's tricky because if there was someone, like I could say, like, I read cards my way. But if there was someone that potentially wants to learn about the meaning of the cards, or the position of the cards, or the way the tarot works, and I'm just here talking whatever comes out in my imagination and not, following the structure of the tarot, then, whoever wants to learn about the tarot, they are going to get everything wrong. They are not going to be able to learn from the experience of observing the cards, knowing numerology, the association with some astrology, if you want to add it. There's a lot of symbolism. So um, sometimes when you're like, oh yeah, but I read them my way, and it's not like the others. That's valid when you do it maybe in a private setting, but when you do promote that you read tarot, there's certain, like, I would trust if you would be able to tell me, okay, what does this mean? Since you are like a public communicator and you do have a channel about it, is this the same as this? Or you're going to tell me like, no, because according to my interpretation in intuition, I see this, and I think that this means this because I have a vision. So you're not reading tarot, you're just channeling. But yeah. He's 39. Okay. Tarot Premaster. um and also, yeah, I don't know, I don't know, maybe it's translation, something that I'm not getting about the way he sees cards, but there's something about him, his message about these free cards, his delivery about these free cards was actually very suspicious. Like, he had a tone and attitude as if, if you ask me about marriage, potential marriage and love, relationships, meeting the one, and you got these very favorable cards, like love is coming for you, or you are going to meet love now. The age of wands is like pushing things forward, and also he's moving towards the objective. So he's, like, I would say he's actively looking for marriage, probably. So if you don't reflect that, and if you see this and you're like, mm, mm, like, and I think that there's something that he said, like, oh yeah, there could be, but some is going to get spoiled. Like, he was so negative about these cars. I was like, really? You don't see the potential? The Knight of Cups is screaming at you like a love proposal. Like, what you mean? And there's a receiver. There's a potential someone, very young and inexperienced, but there's someone. Um, so why? And she was like, yeah, but you should be careful because maybe if you don't get married before you turn 45, you're going to lose your timing. Like, somehow, if he has to get married before he turns 45, because otherwise he's not going to feel the I don't know, the need or the desire of getting married if he doesn't get married before that age. So in that case, and then, when he asked Dahyun to pull an extra card to clarify, of course, like, he got this card and he was like, see, I told you that everything was negative. Like, it's not auspicious, like there's something that is not correct. And for me, I'm like, where did you get that he is like, where is this going, that you are like, is he a shaman? Is he a fortune teller? Because what card lets you know that he must marry before turning 45? Otherwise, he's not going to get married. Which, to me, if someone said this to me, like, I'm 40 myself, I would be so restricted in my autonomy if you give me this date. I don't know, giving this like a number, a limitation of age, like you must find someone to marry before you turn 45, because then the train is going to leave you behind, so you better catch the train before you turn 45. So there's a bit of ageism, is it called ageism, like, oh, you must be married before you turn 45 because otherwise you're going to lose your chance and you will not be able to get married. So so see, it's like, what? Like, I don't know, maybe it's something that they do, that they, I think that they promote that, that it's like, it's now or never. Now that you're about to turn 40, like, you bet. And I see him hurry, so yeah, it could be that he gets influenced to find someone and get married, even though, as the last card that he pulled, it may not end up very well, because the decision is rushed. The decision is rushed. But that it has a good vibe, these cups. I was like, why don't you give him that? If he asked you, he didn't ask you like, until when do I have time to get married? He didn't ask you for a time, like, tell me, like, until when. No, he asked if before he turns 40, if there's a possibility that he will get married, which is a very short period of time, because we are months away from him turning 40. But at the same time, I believe that because of these cards, there's a potential that Kim Jae-jun himself, he is already looking, or he is thinking about this. So I don't know if he himself, because we have the Eight of Wands in the middle, so maybe him himself, because of, this fear of turning 40, and what if when I turn 40, and after I turn 40, it will not be the same? Yeah, it will be the same. You just are turning 40. And the world is not going to end. But I do see him very open and actively looking for love. Like, I don't know if he's also like pursuing someone, or he's going to pursue a certain person that also is a bit like, I don't want to say in love, but there's like feelings in there. Both of them feel very romantic. The Eight of Wands, nevertheless, in the middle, it talks about a rushed decision. Like, this Knight of Cups is so eager. He has his heart open. He wants to find love. Maybe he feels it in himself that this is the right time or season to find love. And he could potentially find it. He could potentially find it because in his pursuit of love, there's someone possibly younger than him or inexperienced. So I was like, why don't you tell him that this good news? Because actually, if someone asked me, I would be like, I mean, it could be a rash decision to get married, but that you are pursuing, or you are going to be soon pursuing with a very romantic attitude and very open someone, you are going to be pursuing someone. And that person is going to reciprocate you initially, yes, there's going to be reciprocity. But then, because of the last card that this person asked Jejun to, we could have had a happy ending here, but he put in he tried to clarify, and he got the Three of Swords. So I think that this could definitely, because it's next to this card, so I think that this could be that the person, because it does seem like the person is younger and inexperienced, so maybe the person gets cold feet, and they are like, you're going too fast. Maybe if he wants to propose, he's going to seem like, like you are doing, everything is happening so fast. Like, I do feel the same as you, but I don't want to get my heart broken, and I don't feel in the position of making this important decision. Also, because the Page of Cups is a bit inexperienced, there's something about this person not having the possibility or the ability to make a choice, or to say, she doesn't want to say no, because I see love, I see a connection, I see romanticism, but maybe things are happening very fast. and this person is like like, oh yeah, I like you too, but not for this kind of commitment. But it's very interesting to see all this romantic energy. I wonder if he already has someone, if he already has someone that he's sort of like pursuing someone, because the Knight of Cups is already open and available, or either he's asking um someone to like, oh, I like this person, can you set me up with this person, because I seen this person and I fell in love at first sight, or there's something about this person that I like, I find it cute, or we have cute interactions in the past, so I'm feeling confident that if I make the move, a very fast one, she's going to be with me. um but yeah, the Three of Swords is her maybe being like, yeah, I want to get to know you, I like you, but not for marriage now, because the Age of Wands is like this sudden news, this sudden proposition. It's like you are love bombing me. It's too much. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. The party pooper, pooper card went after he gave him this interpretation. Yeah. Like when I saw the cards, I was like, I don't care about the Three of Swords at the end, but I do want to applaud. I do want to celebrate Kim Tae-jung for being this open and romantic, for feeling romantic, for feeling, like for me, this is amazing, like to see an idol. So like I think that probably he asked this because maybe he has someone, or he has his eye on someone. Maybe he asked this because he's sort of contemplating the idea, because the Knight of Cups is someone that is already available, is someone that is already in love. So it's not someone that is like, oh, I'm going to get to know you. No, he's coming up after you. And the other person, as the Page of Cups, there's something about like, yeah, I feel it too. Mm. Hola, Laura. I want to congratulate his bravery, his courage to do this on a YouTube a YouTube channel, a very public one. So I do want to point out this openness of Kim Jae-jung. So even though he doesn't have to feel the rush, like, oh, it has to be before I turn 40, but I think that there's someone important for him, or there's someone that he cares. So, maybe him not trying to scare this person away by, being a bit too much initially. I think that he should he should slow down a bit, but I know he means well, because the Knight of Cups means well. He has feelings. He's feeling the butterflies. So yeah. I mean, the Page of Cups, I was like, this could be someone younger or more inexperienced than him. And sometimes when I say this for an idol, sometimes I feel like, especially when I talk about these idols that are around my age, I don't want people to get weird and be like, oh my God, no, he's dating a minor, or he's going to date a minor. No. The Page of Cups could also mean that not only that maybe this person doesn't have the experience, the romantic experience that maybe Jaehoon has, but also that maybe this person you know, is not used to the exposure or the fame or the status that Jaehoon has. Jaehoon has much more social abilities, and this person probably is a bit much more humble. Is more about the person that observes you and maybe helps you out and is there to assist you. Why do I feel like he's an assistant? Something like this. Is someone very loving, very understanding, but maybe in comparison to his energy, this person seemed like, like very humble, like she doesn't know what to do or what to say. So she could get scared of easily. Like, oh, what are you saying? Why are you proposing? Like, why? Like, but I do feel the anxiety in him. The Eight of Wands also lets me know that he is in the rush to find love. I mean, but I think that, sometimes when you read for people, you also have to pay attention to, why are you asking me this right now? Sometimes in the question that the person asks, there's also an answer. It's the same as if someone brings out a subject, like, oh, I want to talk about this, or I wanted to tell you this. They are doing this because of a reason, whether this is unconscious or conscious. There's always there's a reason why people ask what they ask. It all comes back to them. So maybe for Taehoon, these are moments that this is not about him turning 40. This is probably him more about feeling like he wants to be in love, or he wants to feel a true connection. It's just that maybe he tends to rush in relationships. And I don't know if I said this in the past about him, because I know I read for him in different romantic series of tarot readings. So I know I read a few about him, and I think that he probably feels like he gets on the horse. I think about the knights. He gets on the horse, he's like, yeah, that's the person, that's the one, I'm going to pursue this person. But the Eight of Wands is also giving me this very, fiery and reactive energy of, like, I have to tell them now. And then, that fire dies down at some point. So it's like he could be too enthusiastic or too eager to propose or to express his feelings. But what about sustaining a relationship long term? Will your feelings remain the same? Will this desire remain the same? Or are you feeling pressured because of, society, and maybe he's feeling nostalgic because other people are getting married, other people have families, other people of his age already have families and everything, and he's like, I want that too. And this is why the Knight of Cups is someone that is trying to connect and recognize the desire of, I want to have someone to love, and I want to be loved in return. This is not about money. This is not about him chasing a status, or, he wants love. And I think that this is why I was like, that person didn't even get to the key point of the reading. He just said what he wanted to say. He changed he said whatever. I don't know if it's because I believe he is friends with him, so there's something about them being very informal. But I was like, you are not reading the cards very well. And also when he pulled that Three of Swords, it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. With those three cards, because he usually asks the person to pull three only, with those three cards, it was enough. But sometimes why you keep pulling cards sometimes is not the best. Some things, they better remain unknown. I believe. Hey, Samara. Mm, very cute, but I think it could be the culture too, very focused on predictions and what's proper, what should be done. Not that he read it well, but what he said, especially on YouTube. Yeah, it seems like when he said the age, when he said the age is the same as if you, for example, you are reading cards and all of a sudden, I don't know, for example, you, Fluffy, that you know about astrology, and you know my chart, or my birth chart. So you're like, yeah, this that I'm seeing in the cards. And also, I remember that you have this planet or the seventh house, it says that you, before you turn 45, you better find someone, because otherwise, like, you're going to lose interest, and it's going to be more difficult to get married after 35. So it feels like this, like he mixed different knowledges, or or I don't know. It just felt like it had nothing to do with what he was doing initially. Yeah, I was like, is he reading his Saju or something like that? Because it didn't make sense that he said that. And also, it's so, for me, it's so, because I took it because I'm around the same age as Jejun. So I'm like, yeah, of course, if you see astrology, for example, I don't know if it's, I believe I heard an astrologer said something about, I don't know, us, that we are Pluto in the Scorpio generation, or that we have a certain generational planet. I don't know if it was Uranus, I don't know what was. But there was something like this person was saying that between the ages of 38 and 42, that you are supposed, between among these ages, between those ages, you are supposed to, find the one in those, or it's ideal that you, before you turn 42, that you should, meet the one already, or, you should finally get married if you are single, or remarried if you are, but then I heard from astrology. I didn't like, I haven't, I mean, about cards, I haven't heard a person that is like, oh, because you got this card, it has to be this age. And I think that also, for astrology, I do take it, because I'm like, yeah, there's an study in this, astrology is very complex, and they are able to pull, information, numbers, dates that are very, prosperous for you to do certain activities, or don't do certain activities that are about to change your life. But at the same time, it's very complex. You do have to have the person's individual chart, and there has to be someone that is very knowledgeable in astrology, and there's a lot of study in this. So, but for me, sometimes I wonder, but what about for that person that is 40, 43? Does it mean that, that person cannot date anymore? Like her whole relationships are going to be like, a failure after that age, if she doesn't meet the one after, in that, you see, there's a bit of like, I'm like, why? Like, I don't know, why are you putting a timeline? Mm. Mm. Oh, I cannot see a thing. I cannot read the comments. Wait. He had many. Didn't they say the same to Hichul? So definitely those people are promoting marriage, a tradition. Yeah, I think that is more like, promoting, like a sort of like, oh, you cannot stay single, before you turn 40, 44, 45, please be married. Otherwise, you are a broken, you are a broken piece of furniture. He had many readings on YouTube when he was dating Momo, and they said he would marry at 45. So I believe so said Momo would be in the perfect age. Still not even half of her career as him. Mm, mm. Not for me, Fluffy Night. It was a TikTok, but it was I heard it different in different times. And they were talking about generational planets. I'm sorry. Um, not directly to me. No, not to me. But I had one of those planets. Gracias, Akira. Gracias. Yeah, I think that I'm not recovered of my cold. I'm not recovered yet. But yeah, this is like this. This is just my 2 cents. That's all, guys. That's what I wanted to do because I found this the spread or the three cards. They were so cute that I wanted. If you are a fan of Kim Jae-jung, he's in the mood for love, and there's someone. So yeah, I wanted to say that. Mm. Ah, okay. Yeah, usually, astrology on TikTok, some accounts are very like sensational, like I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I know that for you to get, the current transit and interpretation, you have to get, an astrologer to look at your chart. So let's see. Maybe we hear something. He give us a hint about who this person is. I don't think that is a public figure, but it's someone cute. Okay, I'm going to read for this couple for that he just got out of his military service, the actor and actress of The Glory, Lee Do-hyun and Lim Ji-jeon, that they were dating. They still are dating, so let's see their bond. Let's see how it's doing and what's available in the future for them. Lee Do-hyun and Lim Ji-jeon. Good, good, prosperous. I like it. But yeah, they went through a lot, I would say. Like him being away probably made things difficult for the connection. From his side, for Lee Do-hyun, we have five of swords. We have the page of wands, and we have the 3 of cups. And from her side, for Lim Ji-jeon, we have the tower, ace of cups, and the magician. Probably I'm going to sneeze again, guys, because I feel it here. I don't know if it's allergies, but and for their connection, we have the card of nurture, the Empress. So it has potential. It has potential of keep growing, expanding, that there's abundance in the connection. There could be a lot of money spent or, party, celebration. Why do I feel like this man he received an ultimatum from her? There's an age difference in here, right? There's age difference, right? Does anyone know? Because from this side, Also, because I think that this page of wands, it represents his childlike energy. I think that he's very, in comparison to her, he seems very childlike. He seems a bit childish, or probably he gets upset if he feels like cornered by her. I don't know if they had a lot of discussions while he was away, a lot of through messages, a lot of discussions, him getting easily triggered or upset. He also has a temper, but he just, moves on very fast. But there's something about him that this is actually, I believe he's an Aries man, and this sort of makes a lot of sense. There's something about him, he's a bit impulsive in decisions about her, or about the connection. And we have the Three of Cups. So I think that I don't know about his lifestyle, but he sort of reminds me of my dad. I don't know why. I don't want to, like, oh, sorry. I don't want to, like, how do you say, like, mirror this, or projection. But he's like, let's go out, let's have a party, let's have a reunion, let's invite people over, let's hang out with others, with other colleagues, let's go here and there. He wants to go out. He probably, well, the guy has been, pursuing his duty and everything. So there's something about him just desperately wants a social life. He wants to go out, he wants to see his friends, he wants to celebrate with her as well. This is not about him going solo. And no, he wants to go with her. But it feels too spontaneous, or maybe that he is a bit, like, he's like, oh, I want to go out, or let's go grab drinks with these people. And probably from her side, she's much more of a homebody, or she's much more of someone that is a bit much more, careful with her, with who she hangs out with, or where does she go. If she doesn't know someone, um she's not interested. And in his side, I see him be a bit much more social, and probably like outgoing, and be like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I don't know these people, but they say that this bar is really good, or this place, it serves delicious food, and it's very popular. So he seems like he really wants to go out and just being active, or just, enjoying being on the outside, the nightlife, or not necessarily going out to drink or party. I think that he wants to be out. He wants to be out and enjoy his freedom, I would say. And maybe, and he wants to see people. He wants to hang out with people, with other people, with her, but with other people. So it feels like, when you have that kind of boyfriend that he's very social, or he has a lot of acquaintances, and he's very easy to make friends with people, and even strangers. And for you, you are like, it seems like you are like the introvert. You are like, the one that is not so nice, because you are always like, can we go home? Can we go home? I don't know these people. I don't feel comfortable. So yeah, because from her side, we have the Tower, the Ace of Cups, and we have the Magician. So there's this feeling, this very strong feeling of like her wanting to end things with him. This is why from his side we have, the Five of Swords, and then we have the Tower. But then, again, they were able to rebuild or have this new beginning. The Ace of Cups is like, I will give it another try, because I still love you. I still have a lot of feelings for you, and this, that they are back together, or they are seeing each other finally, like, without these restrictions. The love is, her heart, it's already connecting again, or she's falling in love back again with him. But initially, they were really close to end it, I would say, because there's some incompatibility in lifestyles, maybe. Or maybe he's just very impulsive, and she's like, yeah, you should let me know when you make decisions like this, because I have a saying as well. And also, as the Magician, the magician is like the mind master, like the one that pulls the strings, the one that has all the talents, all the knowledge, all the intelligence, all the tricks, I would say. So she probably is very dominant. So there's something about her, controlling him. Like she's like, no, this, or even manipulating a bit, but she does it from a place of love, obviously. But it feels like, like she has to play mind games with him. Otherwise, he probably doesn't listen to her. He feels very childish like this. Like at the end, he's going to do what he wants to do. So she has to somehow accept that this is the way he is. And I think this resonates so much because when you date an Aries, it's like this. You have to, if you fight them, it's worse because they are not going to let you dominate them. They can say that they're sorry, they can be like, okay, can we try this again? But at the end, eventually they're going to do what they want to do because it's in their nature. And in the case of her, I think that she's like a great strategist in this sense. She's like, okay, I love you, I will accept this. So probably her strategy is to keep him near. It's like, okay, we will do this that you want to do, but we will go together. So there's something about a strategy coming from her. Also, the magician is giving me her acting skills. I know I have the feeling that she has feelings for him. I think that love there is, but at the same time, I think that something broke while they were separated, or if they had like a huge fight, something broke in her, or maybe she realized that he's not like she thought he was. She maybe idealized him a lot, because he is a great seducer. So maybe he's she thought that he was much more considerate than what he is, and actually with the Page of Wands, he is much more like someone that does what he wants, and that he's very true to himself. He's not selfish, but he's someone that he just does what he wants to do, and he's very independent. He's not going to ask her for permission to do things. So I think that her strategy is like, okay, I will come along so I can keep an eye on you. So this is why I'm like, is there an age difference? Because it feels like she's like keeping an eye on him to make sure he behaves. um And yeah, with the Empress, there could be also, plans to maybe grow a family together or make a business together, or just, nurture this that they have. And I think that probably the Empress also lets me know that maybe because maybe if people know that they're dating, this also adds to their popularity as actors as well, or to their careers. Like instead of, when there's famous people dating, sometimes the audience doesn't like it, they don't accept it. But I think that in this case, the audience maybe is a fan of their relationship. So they are like, we have to stay together because this is prosperity, this is prosperous, this is good for us. So yeah, good. Fan de su relación. Yeah, when I said that, I thought about that, Akira. I stopped because I sounded like that person. But yeah, fan de su relación. 5 years age gap, and he's younger. Ah, ah. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I would also put a leash on him if he was my partner because he is very outgoing. He wants to go out, he wants to enjoy life, he wants to see people. He is very extrovert, and you cannot hold him down. And I would do what she's doing, honestly. Wait, guys, I'm going to go get a tissue and blow my nose, sorry. This is for, I don't know if you guys have it everywhere in the world, but this is for Latam people. We use this for everything. It's big bubble wrap. I'm sure you do have it, guys. This is worldwide. Here in Latam, we use it for everything. That's globally. We use it for everything, even for. I remember my mom was like, "You have to rub it on your neck as well," and it doesn't do anything on the neck. But she was like, when I was a child, she would rub it on my chest, or when I would have this awful cough that I cough so bad that it hurts. Um, and we would also apply it on places if you burn yourself with something, with a heavy with a hot subject or object, or if you had some bruises or something, we would apply it to everything. I'm curious if they don't use it also on food, because we use it for everything. It's like a one for everything. I hate it when they put it on my feet. You know that I heard that there's people that they put it on their feet as well, and they put the sock back on to give it warm. I never tried it. I should try it. We all grew up on these. They're so good. For me, like, I smell the mint and I feel better. It's like, it's like psychological. Oh. Sorry, guys. It's just that I started with my allergies. And okay, I'm going to pull some cards for Lapilus to see if someone asked me if they're going to have a comeback this year, or if they're going to come back this year, because maybe they are MIA. And I know that I haven't heard that much about that group, but I know that in my community we do have people that had asked for them in the past. So yeah, let's pull 3 cards to see these girls, how they're doing, and if they're going to have a comeback this year. Hmm. Hmm. What is going on with their CEOs or their managers or whoever manages them? Because we start with the Justice for Lapilus. Justice, King of Pentacles, and King of Cups. And we have the Hangman. The keyword is observe. So yeah, probably a halt in activities. But I don't think that is about them. I don't think that it's about is an issue of the group. I think that there's something about these two influential people that they are dealing with something with justice, or they are going to be dealing with justice, or they are going to have to present themselves to justice, in front of justice. Or they are getting justice themselves. If they done something incorrectly, they probably are going to get justice. So it's about them. It's about them. And in consequence, this means that probably the group is not going to have activities. I mean, I don't see something negative. It could be, something that is about politics, or is about, an arrangement with the justice, or is about them having to present their documents. I mean, these are two kings. These are two influential people. And they are like the responsibles. It's like the head of the group, or the company that represents the group. So maybe it's about paperwork, or it's about them, presenting to the justice what is supposed to be, what is, it's the right thing is to show up to justice and do what they have to do. So maybe, yeah, after they do this, they can, then, get the girls out of this stagnation, I would say. But also the Hangman, I think that this post also is not negative for the group. The keyword of observe. Also, you guys have to remember that the Hangman, yeah, it means it could be like you feel a bit like you are on pause, or maybe you want things to advance very fast, and you want things to happen very fast. But somehow when an interruption happens, or there's, you have to wait, or there's a potential learning process in that. So nothing is lost in this process. They can learn a lot about themselves and the group, or maybe what they want to achieve in the future, or how they want things to be in the future for them. So the Handman, even though, they will have to slow down, they have the potential to observe, themselves, their surroundings, their dynamics, everything, and maybe, start planning, or arranging for a new and better beginning for them once this whole situation settles. So it's not negative, I would say. The group still exists. I believe they do. I have no idea. I believe they do, but maybe they haven't had that many activities, and people are curious. Like, will they have a comeback? Will they come back in this year? It seems like this year they have to deal with, not the group, but maybe the higher ups. They have to deal with certain things from the justice. So okay, now I'm going to start finally with the Gemini, the Geminis of some Geminis that I have for today. And then on Sunday, I'm going to continue with the other 7 that I have written here. I have them all written down. Okay, I'm going to start with Exo Suho. He's a Gemini. Let's see 2025 for him, for Exo Suho. Okay, for Exo Suho, we have the Strength card, we have the Devil, we have the 5 of Cups in the middle, we have the 10 of Cups, and we have the 3 of Wands. And then from the other deck, we have the card of the Wheel of Fortune, and the keyword is flow. So yeah, I think that yeah, for Suho, there's something. He definitely is feeling very remorseful, or there's something about him feeling a bit of sorrow because of lost opportunities. You know, he's feeling a bit like, you know, trapped. Like he's trying his best to remain strong, you know, with the strength card and the devil. There's something about him, you know, sometimes he wants to get rid of the chains that somehow make him feel, I don't know if he's tied because of a contract, or if there's an agreement of you know, between him and the company, that he's like, you know, I'm so tired of this, like, you know, I feel so restricted. um but at the same time, you know, with the stress card, there's something about him, you know, also learning that the more you push, or the more you resist to these power struggles, or these people maybe stepping on his boundaries, the more he resists, or he tries to apply force back, the worse it is. Like the tension is worse, or the situation gets worse, or he just feels like, you know, he becomes a very negative person if he has to focus all the time in, oh, okay, they didn't let me do this, or they took away my right to decide on this. But yeah, there's moments through this year, maybe the beginning of the year, where he felt like actually he doesn't have the autonomy to decide for himself. You know, there's this very strong ties that he has, or these strong chains that are um, I think that, you know, I don't have swords in here, and since we're talking about the Gemini person, it's very interesting to see that he doesn't communicate. Like, and this is not to say that he doesn't talk or he doesn't communicate, no. But I think that maybe his strategy this year is to observe and choose, like the Wheel of Fortune says, choose flow with whatever appears. And sometimes when we have the you know, when there's the keyword, or there's the advice of you have to flow with whatever situation appears, you know, sometimes it makes you feel like so helpless, because you're like, that means I will have to put up with a lot of BS. Yeah, sometimes it is like, don't take it personal, just like advance, just, you know, as soon as it hits you, just let it go, you know. And also the Wheel of Fortune let us know that everything is cycle, everything is a cycle, everything is going to end at some point. This is not going to be his career or his life forever. It's just that maybe the year started very heavy on the restrictions on him. I don't know if they restrict him from saying something, you know, because since I was like, I don't see source in here, I'm like, you don't talk. I'm like, you don't communicate with the others, not, you don't say anything. So I think that this is also part of him, maybe um, to not apply force to a very sensitive times. He's probably letting other people talk. He's probably even letting other members have their moments and just, you know, state what you want to say, or, you know, deliver the information that you want to deliver, or, you know, do what you have to do when it comes to communication or information, or you know, expressing yourself. He's giving room to the others. It's not about him. He's like, this is not my moment. And probably he's like, you know, if I would say something against the company or against whoever, it would be awful, it would be not beneficial. So he's like, this is why, even though I feel so helpless and I feel so guilty, because I wish I could do something, I wish I could say something, but I cannot. I'm not in a position of power at the moment. He definitely, with the Five of Cups, he regrets a lot of things, a lot of things. He's like, you know, I should have done something, I should have said something. But I think that maybe this is a feeling that every time, I read for Suhos, even though, the years have passed, maybe this is like when you as a leader, you feel like you could have done much more, but, you couldn't. I think that sometimes the leaders of certain groups, especially the ones that are very successful, you know, they cannot they don't have the last word, they don't have the last decision, even though there's people that they think that the leaders have like the final call. No, this is a business, and sometimes you do have to get strategic, you do have to remain silent, and just be patient until, something blows up and people hear about it. But, he does feel a bit guilty about, like, I could have said something, I could have saved this project, I could have done more. Definitely there's a bit of, him being very harsh on himself, very critical on himself, and probably like overthinking situations, and thinking about them over and over, like, oh, I should have done this, and no, with these people, with these power struggles, there's not much that he can do. He's just an employee, just like everyone else. Then we have the Ten of Cups and we have the Three of Wands. So the sun will come up, as the year moves, as this cycle ends, and he will have to just flow with whatever appears. It's going to be a bit uncomfortable, but then, later, maybe the second half of this year, like, September, it could be like there's going to be, a big reunion. We have the Ten of Cups, so I wonder. I don't want to say a comeback of EXO, but I see good things coming for the group. I mean, because this is not about individual gaining for him. I think that he has much more projects to come after the second half of the year. This could be with the group and individuals, because we have the Three of Wands. So definitely he has projects that he has to release. Maybe people don't know about them yet, but one is already done, and then there's two that are coming their way. And I think that with the Ten of Cups, there's something about family, community, and he really wants to bring all the members together for an event. I don't know if I can tell you like a proper concert, but he probably wants, I don't know if they're having an anniversary or if they're having like an important date for the group, but he's like, I want all the members together. I want all of them, like, not not the ones that, but, he probably, the ones that are still part of EXO, he wants them all together in the same room, I would say, to celebrate. And because he's like, I owe this to the fans and our community. They are family, so we have to get back together and bring this to the fans. So he's going to, finally connect with happiness and emotional fulfillment while once he's able to do this. Okay, I'm going to continue with Monsta X Shownu, another leader. Monsta X Shownu for this. Okay. For this 2025 Shownu. Yeah. This is a very Gemini card, the lovers. Okay. I want to see if I can sneeze. No. It's going to come up as I'm talking, I know it. Okay. For Shownu of Monsta X, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the World card, Knight of Wands in the middle, Seven of Wands, and we have Six of Swords. A lot of knights, a lot of knights. And then we have, the lovers. The keyword here is says love, but that's not the way I see it. For me, more than love is more like decisions. Um, I think that honestly, like also seeing the lovers card, I thinking about Gemini, ability to have these options, to juggle options. I think that the energy of Shonu this year is to be everywhere, to do a lot of things. I see him maybe being invited to different shows, doing a lot of things, but he's not, I mean, he's advancing in his career, but he's just, he's like a, I don't know how you say it, like a passerby, I would say, in this year. It doesn't feel that stable. It feels more like, yeah, I did this, I work on this, or I work with this person. But then, we have the world card also. So there's something about him going places, interacting with people, interacting with the fans, maybe with the group, also with other famous people. But then at the end, it's like, it's a cycle. I just move, I show up, I do. Um, he's also very slow paced. He's very slow paced. He probably is like, and also there's something about him probably wanting a bit of consistency in his life, but there's something about his career. I think that this is more like his career that is not going to be that well organized. I don't see him focus on one goal or objective. So I think that it's just that he is a very hardworking person and he doesn't complain. He's like, yeah, whenever you need me, just call me and I will be there. You want to invite me? Okay, I will go and work in there. He's someone that he just goes and does the work. He doesn't complain. He doesn't have like a specific idea about the people that he works with. For him, is everything is circumstantial. It feels like, yeah, I've done a lot of collaboration of things that actually, if you ask me, I don't remember much about those experiences. But all I know is that, when they asked for my appearance, I did show up. And if you want me to be there in different times, I will show up as well. He's very hardworking and he's very humble. I'm like, I wonder if he does get paid for these appearances, because it seems like he's very humble. Like he's not high maintenance at all. He's like, you just tell me when you want me to be there and I will be there. He's just so generous. And also he's so stable. Like he's the guy that he's going to be on time, just standing there, like, hello, I'm here. I came to work. Like you summoned me, I came to work. um in the middle, we have the Knight of Wands. So there could be a project for him where he actually feels. But why do I feel like there's a something that a collaboration or something that he has been working on before that is coming to an end? There's no collaboration or work that is sort of closing its cycle. It's not going to be renewed. It's like it's going to end very peacefully, like in a very successful way. He probably will have to record something or do something to give it like a final closure. But then I see him starting all over with this very passionate energy, and it seems like he's changing his gears. He's changing his clothes, because in this in this with this Knight of Pentacles, I see him much more relaxed, and like he knows the place or he knows people, so he's much more comfortable and secure. He knows what he has to do. And in here with the Knight of Wands, there's like this very competitive nature, or there's something about him having to be, much more aggressive. I would say, like he has to, maybe practice more or dance more or move more or fight more or compete with others or be faster, like be very passionate. So could this be, does he have like solo music? I don't remember his role in Monsta X. Is he a singer? Is he a rapper? Is he a main dancer? Maybe he's all of those things at once, but it could be that he could also have like a solo performance, or because I don't see other people. I see him being like, okay, I have to go and work. Um, but then I have this could be with the group as well. But yeah, he's like changing clothes, because I think that what he was doing, it was very laid back and routinary, and this that it seems that he has to transform himself into a warrior and connect with his more masculine aggressive energy, maybe to give this kind of show that is much more appealing, much more mature, much more like a hero, like a warrior. I have to turn into a warrior to perform. I have to get much more assertive and go after my goal. um and then the Seven of Cups and the Six of Swords. There could be some resistance to him, or maybe I don't know if it's him or the group, but there's something about people like just being very much on the defensive. About, I don't know if the group is going to come back maybe with a new concept, and people don't want like a new concept. People are like, we don't want something new. We want the old one, like the old concept. We don't want you to change. We don't know how we feel about you changing. So there could be some, or maybe could it be that people talk bad about him online? Is there a rumor? Is there rumors around around Shownu's person? Because there's something about them just they don't want a free Shownu. They don't want Shownu to be like the Knight of Wands. They don't want him to go out and maybe just being a man of his age and having desires or being passionate about something or being sexual. They don't want him to be that. They prefer to have, Shownu's image or energy under control. Like him being like, oh yeah, he's hardworking. Oh yeah, he has his duties over here. So we have him, I don't mean it the fans, but maybe the audience, or maybe the netizens have a sort of, they are like, we will accept you as long as you remain with your head down and you remain respectful, traditional, boring, even, very hardworking, like focus on work and nothing else. Because if you start, showing that you have a bit of fire in your veins, people are going to come after him. So I wonder what they say about him online, that he feels like he has to defend himself. Does anyone know? Shownu is main dancer according to main dancer. Yeah, something could reappear, like an old scandal or rumor. But he is, with the Seven of Wands, he's definitely not having it. He's not having it. Like I don't see him just feeling sorry. He's not going to do anything inappropriate. It's just that I think that that honestly people, and this is not, I don't need the cards to say this, but when we see the Knight of Wands, a lot of people see him as a sex symbol. So maybe the same people that they don't want him to be sexual with others is the same people that fetishize how do you say when you have a fetish? Well, that they have very strong objectification of Shownu. It's just that they bother to even think that he can be sexual with someone, but he's a grown man, and also the Knight of Wands is like, you know, the one that probably wants to go out. He's like, you know, I'm done with my work. I have been very diligent. I have been very, you know, um, now I want to go out. And maybe people to see that that's not correct, you know, that he shouldn't be doing that, you know? It was very old, yeah. Yeah, but there's something about like, I don't know why, like reputation, like somehow I don't know if people talk about him like, oh yeah, we know that he tends to, you know, run around with women, and you know, um there could be an accusation, something that is going to spoil the mood, because the man is very hardworking. I do see him, um yeah, and also he's, you know, he's doing his own thing, you know. I don't know if they don't like it that he's so independent. They don't like it, you know, that he actually can show up and make his own money, maybe with his own image. Or there's something about him having this kind of um, self-esteem or security in himself that is like the quiet, you know, the kind of success that is like the quiet one, the success that is not loud, the success that is like this silence, you know, that he enters the room and people are like, oh yeah, this is a celebrity, because he's not showing off. It's just that, you know, uh, he has sex appeal. He's very sensual, or he's very desired, you know, and he knows that that's part of his job as well, to be attractive or to be other people's fantasies. But people get very much on the defensive about him. Like the same people that can be obsessed with him and lasting over him are the same people that they write awful things about him online. So it's like this very toxic relationship. But he's just doing his own thing, and he's actually going to be very successful at it. This is why, you know, when we have the lovers, this is why I'm like, this is not love, this is the duality, the lovers, you know, that. And also, if you want to take this keyword love, you know, it's about him just being this this, I don't want to say that he's a saint, but there's something about his mentality that he's just, it sounds like a monk, you know, that he's like love for everyone. Love to you that you don't like me. Love to you that you're a hater. Love to you that you are a fan. You know, he's like, love for everyone. I love you all. I will take the criticism. You want to criticize me? I will take it. You want to love me? You want to stop supporting me? I will take it. You know, like I will take it. I will take both sides of the coin of this very, you know, contradictory stage of being famous. You know, the lovers is this. It's like you have to love the two sides. You have to love it. You know, you have to embrace it. You have to be like, yeah, I love it. I love it that you hate me. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Um, and it's been a bit hypocrite. You know, this is why sometimes, you know, when when we think about, you know, I today I do have, you know, the this the oracle of astrology, the astrological, because I was using this with the client, and you know, when we think about, you know, this Venus in Gemini, in here it says flattery. It says flattery. That is like, yeah, love me or hate me, I will take it like flattery. I'm flattered that you feel that way about me. Keep watching. Thank you. Is this insincere? You can take it how you want to, but he's like, I will take all the flowers and the thorns. I will take it all. Just bring it. Bring it. Yeah. Is the Radiant Sun Oracle, Fluffy. Radiant Sun. Radiant Sun Oracle. Remember that I used to use this Oracle a lot in our live streams. In 2023, I believe it was the year that I used it the most. Wait, guys, I'm going to change this just in case. Just in case I don't want to run out of battery. I have to change it. Okay, I'm going to continue with Exo Suho. Exo Suho. Is Itzy having a comeback? I believe someone said this, that they're having a comeback, or did I say that when I read for Itzy and the company? Okay, for Taeyeon, we start with the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Fool in the middle, a brand new beginning. I love it. We have the Death card, and we have the Two of Swords. And then we have Detach. Detach. Very powerful, I would say. A very powerful reading, because there's a lot of major arcanas. There's a lot of major arcanas, and at the same time, I think that a new beginning for Itzy is coming, because for Cheon, I can see it. We have the ace and the Three of Cups, so there's like celebration, a success, a brand new, very successful beginning for her. And I think that maybe she has been dreaming about, the materialization of this for a very long time. She has been dreaming about this. She's like, I want us to have this brand new beginning. Maybe she has been working very hard for this, but now I think that she's more like enjoying this. This is why I'm like, maybe this comeback is going to be very meaningful for them, because they are already celebrating. And I think that the cards are, very, they are harsh when it comes to, especially the major arcanas. I do feel like they have a very strong message for her, but at the same time, they're like, this beginning, this sort of rebirth that she's going to go through, this opportunity to start all over, is very positive. And I think that it's very interesting how Cheon is not someone that she's thinking about herself individually. We start here with these two cards, and I'm like, she's always thinking about the success of the group, or obtaining success with the group. She's not thinking like, oh, individually, I want to earn this, or I want to do this for myself, or I want to do this for my image. No, she's more like, for the group. For the group, I want a successful new beginning for the group. But there's a lot of rebirth in Cheon. I don't know that if it's just a comeback, but I think that there's a possibility and a potential that this year, 2025, is a year that is very important for her, because she does have to sort of let her old self die, I would say. First of all, with the Fool, she has to launch to this new beginning and sort of see it and embrace it, um, with a very original vision. It's like you just, don't think about the past or don't compare yourself with the past performances or with the past comebacks. This is a new you. So, go and be original, or go and dare to do this, or to give this performance, or to give this stage presence that you haven't done before. Break the mold, break the rules, be original, be the original one in the group, stand out, take risk, take uh, take up space. Somehow the cars here are like, with the group, you are going to be able to achieve so much, but at the same time, you have to change as a person, as an individual, or maybe as an individual member of ITZY. Maybe this has to do not just with her personally, but something is changing in her. She's like, their circumstances are like, you cannot go back to be the old self. You have to burn that bridge, because this new beginning is going to demand of her to sort of, go blindly to the new possibilities. Don't look back. Don't compare. Don't think about, like, oh, because in the past, I used to be like this. No, this is a new you. Just give it your all and trust. Trust that is going to be beneficial for her. That is going to be beneficial for her. Um, we have the death card and the two of swords. So the death card is also like the death card is like, you are not getting out of here, or this process being the same. You are going to transform yourself. You are going to turn into a new Chaeyoung. You're not going to be the same. You're not going to be the same. You have to stop comparing or daydreaming about the old times. No, no old times. You need a new you is calling you, so you need to answer. um Also, the two of swords is like, stop it with doubting yourself. Stop with the indecision. You cannot keep being indecisive. You have to trust. You have to launch yourself to the unknown and just trust the process, trust yourself. um Very important, very important for her to not let anyone interrupt. These are very sensitive but very transformative moments for Chaeyoung as a person and maybe as an artist. She has to change. She has to transform herself. This year is going to shake her up or wake her up in so many aspects, but it's necessary. It's necessary because she cannot keep being in the darkness or being confused about her life decisions. She has to face the decisions. She has to see things clearly without no blindfold, no, you know, dizziness. She has to see things, reality as they present themselves. She has to have her eyes wide open, and now that we're talking about, the Gemini season, any kind of information, feedback that she gets is what she has to receive. She has to be open to receive, but also to understand that this year is going to be very different. It's going to be for her. She's going to change drastically. Maybe as a person, maybe spiritually, a lot of things are happening. But maybe she's finally going to stop being in the middle, and she's going to finally make a very important decision for herself, because of this transformation. She has to get rid of, she has to make a choice at some point. She cannot be in the middle all the time. So she has to find a place for herself, allow herself, give herself permission to change and be better and be original. And when I say be original, I think that if she's living under someone else's shadow, she has to eliminate that. Also because we have the justice. And here the keyword is as detach. She has to detach from that old self of hers that maybe, I don't know, if she's used to be dependent or dependent on others, or she is the one that she's like, like, I usually think about Chaeyoung, I think like very vividly, I think about the twins, it feels like she has like a twin. She has like someone that, I don't know, maybe she does, but it feels like energetically she's always following someone around, and if this person does this, I'm going to do it as well, like copy paste. And somehow all these cards of change and innovation, they are like, no, you cannot do what the others are doing. You have to make your own way. Like, um um, I don't know, in is the process of individualization. Like, you are an individual, you are different, you are one of a kind. You are not like, you are not the copy of others. You are an independent person. So stop thinking like one. You know, very powerful. No, Itzy jail. Okay, I'm going to continue with NCT Haechan 2025. NCT Haechan. Wow. Wow. Really good. Really good for Haechan. I like it. When is Haechan solo work coming? Because I'm like, I know last year I said I see his solo work coming. I see his solo opportunity, and I didn't see it, and it didn't happen. And I'm like, mm. But the cars that he had are so prosperous, so prosperous, so prosperous. We start for Haechan, Ace of Swords, Six of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in the middle, Ten of Pentacles, and Four of Wands. So, oh my God, the amount of success. Like, I'm like, wow. And then we have the Death card that it says release. The Death card is like, oh, to give a bit of, to be the major arcana that somehow brings this very deep and shaking message at the end. But whatever he has to release this year is all for him to get more opportunities. You know, when you have to drop certain things in order to grab more important ones? Well, I think that that's the mentality. I'm like, my God, he's so celebrated. Everyone loves him. And I'm so happy that this is the case, that he feels so celebrated because he deserves it. Definitely, he deserves it. It's just like maybe we can see some financial gain in here, or some, very successful and abundant opportunities for him. There's something about this reading for me being like, Haechan will get whatever he asks to the company, whatever he asks, they are going to give it like on the silver plate. They're going to be like, yes, yes, to you, yes. So I'm going to keep insisting, like they probably are they going to give him the solo work that I had been like not praying, but I have been seeing it for so many years, and every year it passes and nothing happens. But they are so happy with Haechan. He's so successful. Like in here, it's not about being like, oh yeah, it's because he's nice. You know, he's a cute guy. He's such a nice coworker, or the employee of the month, or he's like, you know, a nice member that helps out the others and he gives back to the community. No, he is an ace. He's a king. I don't see a king here, but I do have the Six of Wands, Ace of Swords, and Six of Wands. So whatever tiny, I also want to say, like I think that either he submitted an idea, or he said something, or he shared a piece of knowledge, or he opened a subject to be discussed, or he opened communications about something, but he's so celebrated by this. Something he's going to deliver, or he delivered already. Like it's a brand new idea, or it's something that no one saw, and he's the one that he was like, I see this. This is going on. I believe that this and this and this and this and this, and he's so he brings so much clarity. He's so intelligent that he's going to get recognized for this, or he's already recognized. They are like, move over. Here comes Haechan with the great ideas, or the great vision, or the correct conversation, or the great feedback, or the great observation, or he's the one that he had a very important conversation with this person that we weren't able to achieve in all these years, and then he came and he unlocked it. He unlocked a possibility, or he brought clarity to an issue. So he's going to walk around SM like a king, like, bring me my flowers, I'm amazing. And also I think that the Six of Wands is like, he knows that he's intelligent, he knows that he's that person, he knows. So the good thing about Haechan, that I think that is that his spirits are very up, because he's like, yeah, I told you so. Like, I am intelligent. Like, I think that he he loves himself very much, or he's very much aware that he's very intelligent. He's very much it's just that he loves to hear the praise every once in a while. It's like, tell me more, tell me more. I think I forgot how it felt like, so keep telling me that I'm amazing. Keep telling me that. And we have the Ace of Pentacles in the middle. The Ten of Pentacles. I think that this is not SM. This is like Haechan's company. Like, what is going on? I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to bring a lot of money to SM. It's all going back to the company at the end. But yeah, maybe this is like another comeback with Dream, or I don't want to say NCT want to say. What do I feel like this with Dream? But he's like amazing, amazing. Why do I feel like because this is not just a SEM. I think that is the NCT system in general, that he brings, that he reminds people that he's part of the reasons why NCT is so legendary. Now that we think about, usually Taeyeon, that is the face of NCT, and everyone remembers his face. But Haechan is like that member that people are starting to remember now, or they're starting to acknowledge that he had always been like, I don't want to say like the most successful out of all of them, because we do have a lot of successful people in NCT, but there's something about him being named or appreciated by very powerful people, that they are like, yeah, NCT had these iconic moments because Haechan was part of those iconic moments. So there's something about them finally seeing and praising Haechan and sending him to the heavens, like like you are a king. And we have the four of wands. So again, a lot of reunions, celebrations, parties. Um, they are also going, not just money, but they probably are going to allow him to have a lot of fun, maybe going out more, maybe celebrating more, maybe seeing his friends more. um, I don't know what he's bringing to the company, but he's bringing money, recognition, and a lot of good times also. So it's looking amazing this year. It's looking amazing. Please catch and don't spoil it. Please catch and don't spoil it. But could this be the year that he gets his solo? Could this be? Could this be? But I think that his role or whatever he's saying or sharing is much more important. It's like maybe it talks about rights or the law, like him bringing clarity, because with the ten of pentacles, I think that, yeah, you can praise Hechan a lot individually, but at the end he's always thinking like, okay, my success is my team's success. So he's also thinking about like the other success, not just him. It's just that he wants to be acknowledged, like, yeah, I was the one with the idea, I was the one that created this, it was my idea, it came from here. But yeah, the death card release. I think that the death card is very interesting for Hechan in this reading, because somehow the cards are like, when you release the desire of wanting recognition, that's when you get it. The death card is like, definitely something is changing in Hechan, or maybe Hechan is maturing. He's choosing to have interactions, or to work a different way, or to have different relationships with people in the company or with the group. So he somehow is getting praised because he's doing things differently. And also with the death card that the keyword is release, it's like, release the expectations. Basically, if you want to do something beneficial or something good and amazing for your career, the career of the other guys, the career, the prosperity of SM, whatever. If you really want, to be the mastermind behind this and get all the praises, you at some point you have to release this need for validation. And I think that this is maybe what is going to surprise Hechan the most this year, is that maybe he's going to get the recognition, or he's going to get the praise of very important people, or they are all going to be like, okay, name it, what do you want? And with the death card, the keyword detach is like, I always wanted this, but now I realize that I don't want it anymore. Like, if it this was like 3 years ago, probably I would have chosen this. But now I don't know what I want. Now I want a new beginning. So definitely, yeah, Hechan is maturing, is letting go of, maybe he's letting go a bit of pride, and I think that he's someone, because we have the six of wands. So he's someone that maybe he always had this attitude, like, okay, you know, tell me I'm amazing, like, keep telling me, I'm great, or that I'm the best, or that I'm amazing at this, or that I'm amazed, like, just tell me, and now I think that he's more like, no, I actually want to contribute to the success of my group, and I just want to be happy. or I just want to be able to have fun with them, to have the resources, the possibility, the free time, vacations. I don't know, give me something, but I want to have a good time. Give me the possibility to have a party, to have a celebration, to be able to go out with my friends, to have like give me good times. Don't give me money, give me good times. Give me the freedom to enjoy my life, my youth, my youth. So he's changing definitely. He's releasing the need to be right all the time. Like tell me I'm right, tell me I'm amazing. He's like changing, and he probably is like finally he gets the recognition that maybe he had been working for this for a very long time, and now that he has it, he feels like, wow, was this what I was chasing all along? And the cards are like, you have to change. You have to change your vision, set yourself free from wanting validations of these people. Just, you know, set yourself free. Bye. Okay, I'm going to continue with Ateez Jongho. Ateez Jongho. Akira, watch the replay that I do have the Twice members for less. They are on the list. Okay. For Ateez Jongho, we have the King of Swords, we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Ten of Swords in the middle, the Lovers, and the Tower. A lot of like duality for some Gemini artists. And we have the Five of Swords, that the keyword is win or lose. See, a lot of like double options. It's like it's up to you how you want to live this year. It's up to you. It's up to what perspective you choose. Either, you keep pushing it and seeing the negative side, or you can change your mindset and just seeing, that actually you do have some good times, or maybe some good possibilities, or there's potential for something good, better. Um, with the King of Swords and the Knight of Wands, I think that definitely this year maybe it started and probably is going to continue um, to be moments where he can feel like the King of Swords. Moments where he can feel like the King of Swords, where he can feel appreciated, or maybe he had, with the group, maybe he had some appearances, or he had some moments or interviews where he was able to feel like the king of sorts. Maybe he was able to shine more or to be more in control. um, I think that he is feeling much more respected, or maybe he was able to be part of certain interactions where he felt like the king. He felt much more mature, or maybe he was able to communicate more, to show a bit more of his charms. But then with the Knight of Wands, I think that there's moments, I don't know if he has like a member, if he tends um to bicker or to have a bit of an argument with some member that just doesn't stay still, and maybe that person somehow says something to him that he feels like a bit sensitive about this, and he's like, you're ruining my moment. Or maybe I think that he's very sensitive, like when he's having his king of swords moments, you cannot interrupt him. Just let him have his moment, let him say what he wants to say, because probably he doesn't say that much, or he doesn't have many lines. So if he has his moments, or he's saying something important, please don't interrupt him. But with the queen, not the queen, the Knight of Wands, I think that there's someone that interrupts him, or something happens, or maybe if he's been interviewed by someone, maybe he feels like that person is rushing him, or is somehow like asking him things that he's like, wait, I need a moment. Like, let me think before I give you my answer. Because he's very polite, he's also very, he's not like, oh, because I'm a Gemini, I'm a talkative Gemini, and I talk and I talk. No, he's much more like royalty, like the king of swords is like, I think things through before I answer. I take my moment. I try to, every word that comes out of my mind, is very well arranged, or I take care of the things I say, or the tone that I use. He's very studious of himself, and he's very proper. So there's something about this Knight of Wands. I don't know who it is, but this person keeps interrupting him, and he gets a bit sensitive when that thing happens. This maybe it's not a member; it could be an interviewer or someone that is talking to him. That it seems like their energy is running him over. I don't know if he's often like pair up, or there's something about him having to deal with very aggressive people, not aggressive, but maybe very energetic or verboratic. And he's like, I'm not like that. I take my time, I take my peace, I have my pace, so, hear me out. Um, and this person is like in a rush. So he can get a bit sensitive about those kinds of interactions. In the middle, we have the Ten of Swords. So I wonder how he has been doing mentally. I think that the Ten of Swords, is maybe this has been a long journey that he is about to end, I would say. But maybe he has been dealing with this. Maybe it's criticism, maybe it's him overthinking things, and maybe in Gemini season we're going to see him being much more overwhelmed, or probably just thinking about certain feedbacks or certain things. Um, he has some conflicts. He has some inner conflict with how he's being perceived, and I think that definitely it has to do maybe what I mentioned about this king of swords. Maybe he has his ways of communication, and there were so many things that were left, or that are left, that he wishes he could say, but he didn't say it at the right time. So there's a lot of remorse, a lot of he may be overthinking situations or replaying situations. I mean, like, I should have said this, or I should have answered this to this person, or I should have reacted like this. But
but his mindset, his way of processing information is like different from others. So maybe this is why he feels defeated sometimes. He maybe, I don't know if he could have like a mistake. He had to read something and he read it wrong, and he punishes himself for this. He doesn't let go of situations where he feels tense. He probably usually he feels very tense, like maybe in social interactions with people that he doesn't know. He feels tense. He feels tense. The exposure, it makes him feel anxious because he's like, but what if they don't like me? Or it seems like his safe space is the stage, definitely the stage performing. I wonder if he was like very shy, like a very shy child or kid. So there's something about maybe his parents or other people advising him like, oh, you should become an artist, or you should learn to play an instrument, or sing, or perform, or get on a stage so you can, get over your fears, anxiety, your shyness. Maybe he's a very shy person, so there's something about him, sometimes it's very, very, you know routinary interactions with people, um that you're like, oh, but it wasn't that bad, but for him it is. For him it's like if he makes a mistake, or if he doesn't respond the way he's like, I want to look good, or I want to sound more professional, or I want to sound like this, and I think that I made a fool of myself. So yeah, he's really harsh on himself, I would say. um Also, the lovers, the tower, duality again, duality. um I think that just like, when I read for Itzy Jayon, that I said the same. There's something about the tower, but the tower is much more aggressive because the tower doesn't give you like a lesson. Like the tower is not like, um, well, you have to see that this experience is going to open your eyes, and it's going to be a rebirth, a transformation, change. Change is good. The tower comes and sort of interrupts, cancels, um, cuts certain connections, certain things that no longer go in his everyday life. With the lovers, I think that it definitely has to do with the duality. Just like when I mentioned for Itzy Cheon, I said the same when I saw the two of swords. The lovers, the same. Is like somehow, you know, you have to pick a side. You have to make a decision. And maybe um for Josan, there's something that is going to happen that is going to accelerate this that he has been postponing. Maybe he has been postponing doing something for himself to be better, or to treat himself, or to have a better lifestyle. And he has been postponing this and being like, no, I'm okay, by myself. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to try to be okay. I'm going to, do my best. And somehow the tower is like, no, you need to act on this now, because you cannot sustain this duality. You cannot sustain this uncertainty. You have to make a choice. You have to choose better for yourself, because definitely there's an inner conflict in him that I don't think that it has to do with the group, nor with the with others. I think that it has to do with this relational. It has to do with relationships and connections that are not that deep, but he feels overwhelmed. Um, he probably overthinks a lot, or maybe I don't see him tired, but I think that mentally he's just like, he's feeling very moody, very unstable. This is why we have the Five of Swords, win or lose. It's like, in this very sensitive and erratic behavior of his, of overthinking things, or being a bit on the edge, like, why did you say to me? Why did you say that? Oh, I think that I heard that you said that. Why did you, it seems like he's like win or lose, is like he could, start having arguments with people around him because he's not doing okay mentally. He's thinking, he's being sensitive, he's maybe, you know, he's not seeing things for what is really going on. He's more like, being on the, I would say with the Five of Swords, there's this feeling of like, I will attack you before you attack me, or I will criticize you before you criticize me. Or if you said something, or if you look at me a way that I don't, I feel attacked, I'm going to respond. So, this can affect his relationships. I wonder what is going on. But it can be a mix also of maybe him, if the group is working a lot, maybe he is overworked, maybe he has been dealing with some kind of anxiety. But yeah, I think that something is going to appear, or something is going to happen abruptly. So, there's this possibility of him, maybe not having to be on this survival mode, because it seems like mentally it's a lot, a lot. And maybe if someone wants to help him out, he gets much more on the defensive, and he starts, answering back, or just being, not that pleasant. Okay, guys, I'm going to continue with 17 June. I'm going to continue. Is June back in Korea? Wasn't he gone? Like, wasn't he um like wasn't he the one that had to travel to work? Or maybe I got the member wrong. But okay, let's see. 17 June. 17 June. Another one that feels sharp. He's feeling drama in China, I think. Okay. But he is, I mean, he's also a fighter. I see him just like, it's just that he's standing his ground. He's standing his ground. He's like, this is my business, this is my life, this is my. But what is going on with some Gemini feeling a bit, some Gemini idols feeling a bit like, I would say, paranoid. There's something about them overthinking, like, oh, this that you said, why did you say that? What do you mean by that? Or, oh, I heard this, and they are like, why? Like they are okay when it comes to, maybe work and doing things and just having a routine and having to, being amazing. But I think that there's something about like, oh, I heard, maybe this is because it's Gemini season, is the season of gossip, or maybe it's the season of like, oh, this person said this about you, or they said this online about you. So there's like this suspicion, and also this low tolerance to, like, okay, watch what you say of me. Definitely, I do see it in him. I do see it as well. Okay, for June, we have the Star card, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Emperor in the middle, we have the Five of Swords, and we have the Page of Swords. And from the other deck, we have the Nine of Swords, that it says Darkest Fears. Definitely, if he's coming back, I think that definitely the change of atmosphere is felt. It's very different. The treatment is so different. I think that this is the reason why he may have maybe some arguments with certain people that he's going to be working with, or maybe he's not going to receive very well, how some people talk to him, or maybe they say something, he's going to get very much on alert. Because I think that if he was in China, with the Star card, the Knight of Pentacles, and also we have the Emperor in the middle. So I don't know what he's doing in China, or I know what he's working on, but he's definitely is being, appreciated, and he's being treated like an emperor. He definitely feels like, maybe when he's over there, he feels like he has the autonomy, or he has like the authority to be like, okay, I'm treated like a star here, or what I've been working on. People know my name, or people know about my legacy, or they know that I'm important, that my experience is important. So I think that is a very drastic change for him this year, of maybe going back, back and forth between two cultures. Is definitely, it makes him feel a bit uneasy, because he's sort of getting used to a nice treatment, I would say. Maybe over there they focus more on him, or they give him much more protagonism. So there's something about him feeling treated like royalty in there, him feeling like the weight of his of his experience, or of his work. He's feeling he's treated, and also he feels so secure. He takes very important decisions, or he's in control, or people take him seriously. So it feels like, he comes back. If he comes back to Korea, he feels like, he's on a pedestal, I would say. Like, it's not the same June. It's not the same June. He has all these, this emperor attitude. Because yeah, we start with the star card, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. I think that not just because he's treated like a star, but also because, he's a very hardworking artist. He maybe comes from, the Korean way of working, that maybe is different from the Chinese way of working. And he has this discipline, he has this self-discipline, he has this routine, or he has this, this ability of being very consistent, or being very studious, or being very hardworking. So they treat him so well. They treat him so well. They are like, oh, you are not just talented, you're also like very humble, or you're very hardworking, and we don't see people like you very often. So he's so praised. He's so praised because of his work ethic. At the same time, maybe he's very humble. The guy just show up, he does his work, and then, they're like, no, no, but don't do that, because you're a star. You cannot be here, doing this kind of work. You have to be here, sit here. You are very precious, or you are very famous. I don't know, but in here we have the emperor. So I think that the emperor, probably, it also shows that maybe, not just him feeling confident in his career, but also probably he's surrounded by someone, or he has like a teacher, or he has like someone, like a role model, someone that it feels very masculine. It feels like very Aries energy, very bossy, but someone like that is like a mentor, someone that is like, you don't let people use you. You remember who you are, remember your star, remember your value, remember you if you do something extra, they have to pay you extra. Like like this person is very strategic, obviously. But I think that he's sort of getting contagious with this person. He's becoming this because he has someone that acts like this next to him. So he's like starting to think for himself, for his own benefits. He's like thinking, oh, okay, you're teaching me to, to protect what is mine, or to protect my interests, and to be much more strategic, or to not be so flexible, and to ask for what is righteous mine. So yeah. And this, this attitude, maybe coming back to Korea, it can have him have some arguments with some people. I don't think that is with the members. I don't think that is with other 17 members, but I think that the clash of different treatments in here, then, with the Five of Swords, and him again as this page of swords, like people, belittling his efforts, or his talents, or maybe what he knows, being like, oh, you're a child, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. And here, let us talk or let us make the big decisions because you don't know nothing. You know nothing about entertainment, about the entertainment business. It's sort of, not accepting, like if he says something, there's going to be like, a bad attitude towards him. They're going to make him feel like he's not welcome, or they're going to make him feel like, oh yeah, we don't want to hear it. Like we already arranged this and you just have to follow the orders because you are just one of many, or you are just an employee. So, don't say anything, don't participate, don't give an idea, don't give, no one asked you. So it feels hostile. It feels hostile. And definitely he's going to try to say something back, but they treat him like a child. They are not going to hear him. So again, we have the nine of swords that is says darkest fears. So there's this feeling of maybe him. I think that this is like his worst um, his worst nightmare, I would say, because this is why we have darkest fears, because I think that he sort of saw this coming, or he was a bit fearful that they would treat him like this, or that they would start noticing the differences. Uh, so this is why, maybe he's fearing this. He's like, I knew this was going to happen. I was fearing that this would become a reality. I had fears that this was going to become a reality. Um, but yeah, maybe he has to make a decision in base of this, um, and think, and he is part of his fears. Probably he will have to think a lot about this because he's like, I knew this was going to happen. Like I had he thought like, okay, this is going to happen. I'm going to have conflicts in the future. People are going to treat me differently. But maybe what he's afraid of is the decision that he has to make afterwards. Ah, yeah, there's something that he has in his mind that maybe he's like, at the end, I know I will have to make a decision. They are going to make me decide. Not yet, not this year. I don't think that this year he's going to make that decision. But definitely the different contrasts, like the differences in how he's treated back then and how he's treated here, definitely like it makes him have conflicts. He's like, I definitely can see that, even he can even sense like he's not welcome, okay, that he's not welcome. So I wonder if also people are talking online, or they are going to be talking or criticizing him online. Okay, I'm going to continue with twice Dahyun. I never remember how it's pronounced, Dahyun or Dahyun. Twice. Dahyun. This King of Swords in the readings, it appears a lot. A lot. Two men. Two men in here. Two men. That I love it because she has the Six of Pentacles in the middle, that she's like, to these two men, I give them the same amount of attention. No one is special here. No one is special. Dahyun. Um, I remember Akira said something about her being part of a movie. I wonder if she's going to also participate in something else with another male co-star, or with another male, because I see someone here, but it's hidden already. I think that it probably is not confirmed because there's the high priestess in here next to him. So there's something about this person being hidden. Okay, for Dahyun, we have the Justice, we have the King of Cups, we have the Six of Pentacles in the middle, We have, I have to bring this more here because it's getting darker and I don't know if I can see the cards. We have the High Priestess and we have the King of Swords. So see, there's a lot of kings. And we have for her the Nine of Pentacles. That the keyword is well deserved reward. Well deserved reward. So very, very nice for individual work. For individual work, I would say that this year she's going to shine, or she's going to get a recognition for her individual work, because like she's definitely going places. Definitely with this nine of pentacles, I feel it. I feel it like, it's the right path for her to do more individual activities. I think that she has, maybe she has been like silently working towards a lot of projects that they may not come out, this year. Probably next year you're going to hear about another more important roles. But because I see that something is hidden in here, something is hidden. Um, so I think that this is not she's going to get recognition, but it's going to grow. I think that she's also someone that she's like very silently or even very um like there's something about her just um very um secretly, working and just, maybe being very praised, but she doesn't believe it yet. There's something about her with the High Priestess that she's like, yeah, I had been called by this important person. They said that they love my work, they want to continue working with me, or they want to do this important project with me. But she is like minimizing things. She's not saying, she probably is going to hide a lot of her achievements until it's too late, or maybe some members are going to talk about it and they're going to be like, oh, did you know that she got an award, or did you know that she won this, or did you know that she's friends with this very important influential person? Because for her, I think that there's something that is that she's very humble. She's very humble, and I think that this year she's sort of working and spending time with very successful people. It's just that she's like trying to remain humble, calm, organized, and to each person she gives this person or project the energy that is required, nothing more, nothing less. I think that there's something about her just not wanting her ego to blow up. She's very well centered. um, she also knows how to work in silence and in the darkness. I would say, there's something just very philosophical about this. But I think that she doesn't want to tell people about projects if they are not finished. There's something about, maybe she's superstitious in this sense, that she believes that the more you promote certain things, or people talk about your future works, they sort of spoil it for you. Or maybe she had seen that, her being part of Twice, or her being an idol. Sometimes people are very mean, and they sort of want you to fall because, because she's an idol, she's not an actress, or she's not this professional. So I think that this is why she's so careful and so measured, um, and so meticulous in her decisions. But definitely decisions this year there are. I see a lot of decision making and also a lot of effort. She's working towards projects that are very important. It's just that she is not, she's not overworking herself. She's like, okay, I have to do this with the girls, I will do it. Okay, I have to do this with this person, I will do it. I have to collaborate with this person, I will go and do it. But she's not going crazy about it. It's just that because I see these kings, I'm like, these are very important people, and they're going to help her in her career, definitely. But I think that her goal is not to climb any ladder, any mountain, any prestige, but she's going to be at the top at some point. Even if she doesn't want to, she's going to get the reward at some point. or she's going to get the recognition, or she's going to get some praise. She's going to get it. She's going to get it, because the important people or the right people are watching her. We have the justice and we have this king. So definitely there's someone that also wants to be fair with her. I think that this is someone that has been working with her in the past or recently, and this person is also very fair. Yeah, maybe this person is praising her very much. This person is very sensitive also, so it's maybe when they talk about her, they're very emotional or they're very nice, and it's like, oh, because she's so sweet, oh, because she helped me, or she's so responsible. And he's also giving back to her. It's like, guys, I wanted to let you know that my experience with her, it was positive. So and I think that is vice versa, because her, I think that she has to talk about certain experiences with people. She's also been very positive about it. The Six of Pentacles is like, if you give me love, I will give the love back. But she's so respectful. This is why I'm like, she's loved by a lot of people. you know Also, when I don't want to start any kind of ships nor anything, but when I saw these two people here, I'm like, they respect her, but also they sort of like her. They like her. That they're like, she's so she's so hardworking, but at the same time she's so nice. Like there could be some attraction, something like, oh, I like the way she is, but her being like the pro that she is, she's like, yeah, thank you so much for the nice words. Yeah, I have to keep working. But being a bit cold and detached and professional, and then being like, oh yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. It's just that she has that. I don't know what is it, but she has this vibe that men love her. And I think that is probably because she doesn't pay attention to them, or she doesn't give them this sort of puppy behavior of you following them around. I mean, like, oh yeah, please give me your love and attention, and yeah, I want you to look at me. She's like, no. She's not like that, and I think that this drives them crazy, I think. But yeah, then we have the high priestess with this king of swords. So definitely, there's a potential work in the future with this very also successful person, or this very successful male lead, or very popular, that is still in the darkness, is still hidden. People don't want this to be known, but she's probably like, competing to get this part. And I think that she will. I think that she will, because we have the 9. So she's going to get recognition, even though she is, um, even though she is a bit like, no, I don't like to get praises. Like, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job like everyone else. And it's like, no, no, Dahyun, you're not like everyone else. You are a great co-worker. She's a pro, definitely. She's a pro, and she's so serious about what she does. It's just that um, she's so humble that you cannot praise her that much, because she feels awkward. She doesn't like it, and in there it lies her charm. She's charming because of that, because she doesn't um she's not like, oh yeah, I'm amazing. I know, I'm amazing. No, no, she's such a humble girl. I'm going to put the timestamps later, when after I finish this. Okay. The last one is Tui, twice Tui for 2025. Let's see. Hmm. She also cannot wait to maybe go back to work with the others. She feels very lonely when she's not with the others. She probably doesn't externalize it, but she's like, I am why I am what I am because of my members. And also I think that that Tui is also really hard for her to maybe admit that she needs the others. She probably doesn't ask for anything. She doesn't ask for help. She's not demanding. She's not like dependent, but she is someone that she definitely needs of others to grow. There's something about her. Maybe her identity is built to be part of a team, but she grows or she expands herself, and even her energy expands when she's surrounded by the others. So it's very nice. She's a teamwork person. We start for Tui. We have the Sun, we have the Five of Cups, we have the Nine of Cups in the middle, we have the Judgment, and we have the Knight of Swords. And then from the other deck, we have the Three of Pentacles, that the keyword is reach out. So see how these hands are sort of lifting the person up? See? And also the keyword is reach out. So it's like this advice, is this invitation for you to not be lonely and work with the others. Work with the others, reach out to them, let them know that you miss them, let them know that you want to see them, that they will lift you up. If you just reach out, they will be there. um yeah, because there's a mix. I think that is very interesting for Tui, because the cards sort of show me like, she's a happy person. It's just that there's the duality sometimes. Maybe she's going through this year like a very like feel, I don't want to say philosophical, but it feels like a personal journey where you don't feel satisfied. Like, even though you are very successful at everything that you had put your mind into. She's a very lucky person. She's a very lucky person. She's also like a ray of light, or she's someone that shines so much. So her destiny is to shine, or to be an entertainer, or to be part of the industry. But at the same time, she's also a very melancholic person. She's someone that she probably is like, yeah, I have a good life, or I have the spotlight, or I have, people that love me, and people that admire me, and people that have seen me grow. And I feel happy that I bring happiness to them, or that I inspire them. But sometimes I think about all the things that I have missed in my life, especially emotionally or sentimentally. Maybe there's certain experiences that she didn't have because of the exposure, or because of her being famous, or because of this career. There's something about her smiling, and being positive, and just being out there, and just being this ray of light for a lot of people. But when she goes back to think about this, when she reflects about maybe her childhood, or she reflects about her past experiences while being very young, she thinks like, oh, I missed a lot of important emotional development. Maybe she didn't have, or she doesn't have still, connections, that she's like, like, I heard that there's people of my age that they go get together and they do this, or they have friendships of the same age that they do this, and I never had that. So I think that there's something about her, somehow getting a bit like nostalgic, just getting herself lost, I would say, in memories, or also like going back to thinking about like, okay, what about my past experiences when I had to give this up and I felt very sad. Maybe this is also part of a therapeutic process. Maybe she's really analyzing herself, or she's going back to using therapeutic tools, that they all come back to her own experience, or they all come back to her own human experience, personal experience, experiences as a child, experiences as a young girl, experiences as a woman now. So there's something about her thinking like, yeah, I missed certain key emotional experiences. I didn't have them, but on the contrary, people, when they see me and they see me, so they see me shining, or they see me that, oh, she's beautiful, oh, she's tall, oh, she's talented, and people think that she's like this happy bubbly person, and somehow she's like, actually, I envy people's, that maybe they have less, and they were able to experience, a much simple life. And somehow I envy that, and I'm like, I wish I could have that, I wish I could have a bit of that experience myself. So she sometimes get a bit lonely because of this, she gets a bit sad thinking about this, but it's all, you know it's all very, it's a very short feeling, because in the middle we have the Nine of Cups. So definitely, this year is going to be a year where also she's going to get a lot of wishes come true, or she's going to get recognition, or she's going to be happy with the group, or maybe the group is going to get a lot of happy moments, being themselves, by themselves, among themselves, with the fans. It seems like, she's like, I'm a very blessed person. I have like everything I dreamt of, I had it. At a very young age, I was able to accomplish a lot of things, a lot of achievements. So I have to be happy because look at my achievements. I have all my cups full. All of them are full. I have potentials. I have, every desire or everything that I wanted for myself. I always got it. So there's a sense of like, yeah, I cannot be sad for long, or I cannot dwell on this feeling of like, oh, what I didn't have, because I actually had a lot of, in another aspects, I had a lot or much more than other people will have in the whole entire experience. So I think that she's very wise in this sense, that she's like, yeah, sometimes I reflect, but at the same time, I cannot I cannot have the, the I cannot give myself the permission of feeling sad for myself, because I actually live well, and I'm loved and I'm accepted, and I have the right people beside me, and it's like I don't even have to ask, and people already are around me, like giving me everything. Um, with the Judgment and the Knight of Swords, um, there's this feeling of, that I think that is really is is really interesting, because I think that the Judgment is also, a part where maybe there's a very reactive emotion in her, especially she gets very much on the defensive, because she's very judged. She's someone that literally, I don't know if people talk bad about her, like even when she's doing her best, or the group is doing very well, there's something about her facing judgment anyways. So with the Knight of Swords, like we see it, I think that she could, at some point just fight, verbally, or maybe say something online, to sort of, trying to stop this judgment. Maybe, it's not directly towards her, maybe it has to do with the group, and her just, trying to, like, I try to stay out of this, but there's moments where I'm so fed up that they always, come at us for the same smallest details. So she probably is going to say something. She's going to say something, not to defend herself, more like to counterattack, I would say, to not attack, but to be like, oh, okay, so you think that you're smart because you are criticizing us or you are judging us. So with my intellect, or with my memory, or with my sharp, opinions, I'm going to, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to throw back the judgment out of you. I think that she's also this year, she probably has like zero tolerance for, hate or negative people, and she's probably going to be very active online, or there's something about her saying something on camera, and people be like, oh my gosh, she said this or she responded to this, because she's like, I'm not dumb, I know things, I read. I read, like, I'm an intelligent person. It's just that, maybe in the past I wasn't able to respond, or they didn't let me, or I didn't have the permission to say something, or maybe some other members were in charge of putting a stop to certain attitudes, or maybe people saying things online. But I think that this year she's like, if you're going to judge me, I'm going to fight back. I'm not going to stay silent. So be ready. Be ready because she's going to cut some heads. She's going to cut some heads off, because she's like, people want, there's something about her being like, people want me to be miserable. They want me to feel sorry for the life that I have. And I'm not sorry. I'm actually very grateful. And also there's a part of maybe, when we think about this nine of cups, there's something about her acknowledging that she's very privileged, and maybe people take it the wrong way, and they're like, what is she saying? Is she saying that she's much more privileged than the rest? And she's like, well, yeah, like, I'm not unhappy. I have people that love me, I have people that support me, I have people that pay to see me, to watch me and the group. The all the other members spoil me, they give me everything, they protect me, they pamper me. Maybe also her own family also make sure that she doesn't need anything. So she is a girl that, yeah, maybe sometimes she's like, maybe emotionally I don't have the, the richness. Emotionally I didn't go through like all these, relationships, friendships, deep friendships, or maybe emotionally she's not, also maybe um she's not someone that is traumatized. She's like, I'm not, I wish I could tell you like, oh, I'm a victim of my circumstance. I'm not, because I'm blessed, I'm loved, I'm loved, I'm very loved. So sometimes people, maybe they see her and they're like, oh, because she thinks that she's better than everyone else. And she's like, that's on you. That you say, you're speaking out of your experience, or you're speaking out of your perception, not me. So yeah. But yeah, definitely the key of the keyword of this year for her is reach out to the member every time she feels uneasy, or she questions things about her experience, or maybe she's like, okay, i have I wonder about certain things that we went through that maybe I don't remember, but maybe if I talk to my members, they can help me remember, or they can help me recuperate some memories or some important moments that, because I was very young, I don't remember exactly. But she's not alone. She's not alone. And I think that this probably is also maybe why people criticize her so much, or people judge her so much, because she's a girl that she's not lonely. She's not alone. That, I mean, she has a great system of support. Like I said, if you see these hands, sort of, creating like a, a, a chair, a nest for the person to sit comfortably. She has her people. She's not alone. She has her people. She just has to, not say anything. She just had to leave her hand, and people will come running to her to help her, because she's loved. She's loved. She's like, everyone's baby. So, and she's like, yeah, that I do recognize, that I do remember that I have, or that I'm able to see. But maybe, people just don't like that, and they see her a bit entitled. I don't know. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like that phrase that says, us on our own, we don't save each other. We don't save ourselves while being on our own. We save ourselves by uplifting others. So, so yeah, it was it was a long reading. This one, long, very long. Uh, but yeah, I'm glad I was able. I started early, guys, because you did show up very early. So I started like, you know, I I wanted to do the readings that I wanted to do. Now it's getting cloudy. It's getting darker here. Um, but yeah, when I sat here, it was sunny, and now it's getting darker and it's getting colder. But I'm so happy I got to do the readings that I wanted to do. And of course, I'm going to tell you guys who I have for Sunday, just in case you are like, okay, but what about this person? Anyways, I'm going to create a community post maybe tomorrow for people if you want to leave more Gemini idols. I do have names already, but in case I'm missing someone, if you want to leave them in the comment section of the community post, I'm going to do that. Okay, for Sunday, I have Itzy Jeji, I have Lee So Hyuk, the, the the actor, Thierry. I have SNSD Yuna. I have the actress Kim Hee Sung. I have Hoshi of 17, and I have Park Bo-gum. So yeah. And if something else comes up in the K-pop community or in the K-pop or K-drama land, I'm going to read about that as well. So yeah. Yeah, I have to take care of my voice. I hope I don't lose it again. Um, but yeah, and also I want to clarify because initially I did a couple of days ago, I did create a community post where I asked people for like this was supposed to be a romantic Wednesdays tarot readings, but you know the recommendations that I saw so far, it wasn't of my liking. Like it was more about the same people that I read, even though I didn't read for that specific series, but I did read for them recently. So when I see names and recommendations being repeated, I'm not going to do the series because for me it's like I'm not being productive. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of subjects, there's a lot of groups that maybe I could use these moments to read for them, to create new readings, also to attract new people to the channel. And I'm not going to be reading for the same people or the same duo over and over and over and over. The only one that I was able to take out of these recommendations was this couple, Lee Do-hyun and Lee Ji-jeon, the people of the glory. But then the other ones, like I'm like, no, not again. Like when and it's not about the recommendation or the person that recommends. It's not personal. But sometimes I read certain names or certain duos and I'm like, I energetically I'm like, I don't want to do it. It's not just because it's repetitive, but also because I don't feel, when you read certain names, and at least this is how I feel it. I'm like, I don't want to read about that. And I try to stay connected with my intuition and also to be congruent with my own desires. If I don't want to read about that, there must be a reason. So, yeah. Was it like unusual ships or true romance? No, it was more, no, it was individual. I was asking recommendations for the love language series, the love language series. But when I asked for recommendations to read for love language, people ask me for ships or they ask me for duos, and I'm like, you're not getting, you know, you're not getting the assignment, you're not getting the idea, and also it's like when I see certain names, I'm like, that's not like I read for that person before. So it's like we're not understanding each other. There's a bit of like you're not understanding what I'm asking for, and you keep insisting on the same thing, even though I'm not reading about that. So So it's like this very awkward. Like, this is why I went back to Discord, and I was like, guys, can you give me recommendation for Gemini season? Can we start with the Gemini idols? Because I felt so uninspired. I was like, I'm not doing that. Yes. Remember? Yeah, we were. Remember when about? Yeah, we should. But yeah. Okay, so we need to come up with new names. What would you like to read for outside of K-pop? But this is still East Asia, like Chinese. Yeah, let's see. Maybe Chinese, but Chinese, I do have to get, like that day that I did, like only for Chinese and Japanese artists, that I did a live stream only about that. That would be nice as well. Hmm. There's only so many idols, to be honest. Yeah, I should. I should. Now that I'm on episode 28. I'm on episode 28. And for me, this is like a whole accomplishment because I had friends recommend me Chinese dramas for a very long time. And I'm always like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And maybe I started episode one and I didn't get it. Like, I was like, okay, and maybe I started and I didn't continue. But about Nirvana in Fire, you had mentioned this a long time ago, but at the same time, I heard that it was this good. Now the issue is going to be after I finish Nirvana in Fire. What am I going to be watching? Like, because I think that that it's so good. Like Nirvana in Fire is like it sets a precedent that how am I going to find another one that matches, that is close, being better to this? There's season two? Oh no. Season two? Oh my. Mm-hmm, the birthday. Uh-huh. There's season two. Oh my god. I thought that it was over. Another one that I know that it's about also like complot and a lot of power struggles and is about the actress of the double is in it. Is it the Xiaoxin Palace? Algo de Palace, it says Palace. Um, Six Flying Dragons for K-drama is great. I'm not gonna write it down. Yeah, another one that I want to watch because I did end Dear Harang, and I'm in love with. I know that this is Samara's bias, Lee Jae-wook, but he's so beautiful. Like, I love to watch him. So I'm going to give Alchemy of Souls another chance. I didn't finish it, but I'm going to give it another chance just to see him. Just to see him. The double is really good. Is I think that is the first C drama that I started. Like, I was like, I found it on YouTube, and I got until episode 5 on YouTube, and that was my first experience. Then they added on Netflix, and I was able to finish it. But that was like the first C drama that it began, and I think that the first 10 minutes, and I was hooked. I couldn't stop watching because it was so like, oh, a lot of things were happening. Ah, Ji Chang Wook. Ah, the other G. Ah, okay. Ji Chang Wook. Yeah. No, but I don't know why. I thought that because sometimes you mentioned when it comes to actors, you did remind me his name. That's why I thought that he was one of. It was you, or maybe it was Hope. It was Hope, or it was Fluffy. One of the three of you was. It's just that we usually talk about how many are we in Discord. Like when it comes to the movies and K drama part, we usually it's just the three, four of us that are talking in there. Ah, okay. I don't. I don't really have a bias amongst Korean actors. Which one is my bias? Yeah, but after everything that happens, I don't even want to say it. Like I don't know. I had to think about it, but I'm like, some actors are a bit like after what happened. But who is the one that I'm like I would watch because it has to be the kind of actor that you're like I would watch anything that he's on. Mm, I kind of like Ambo Hyun. I like his body. Like, I like there's nothing wrong with his face, but I think that because I also don't like pretty boys in face, but I like his face. But there's something about his face in particular that I got traumatized by him when I watched him the first time on Itaewon Class. So for me to see his face and not associate him with the bully, it took me a long time, a long time. It took me a long time. So when I watched him on um, um, Yumi Cells, I was like, okay, he's not that attractive in there anyway with that hair, but I was like, okay. Um, and but then in the other ones, I was like, when he's looking more mainly and you can see his body, I'm like, I'm staying for the body, definitely. I'm staying for the body. I'm sorry. But that's what Taurus people does. They do that to you. They expose their perfect bodies, and I'm like a visual person, so I'm like, it's a nice body. I would stay for the body, definitely. Mm-mm. I like Wei Ahun and Park Hesu, but don't really follow their career. Ah, my mom loves Lee Yuki. Nah, but same. Ah, yeah, he's beautiful. Once your chin. We separate the head from the body. Then another one that I am thinking like, oh, the one that I would say that is not like actor, but is Jin Yang of God 7 when he's acting. Just because I love his eyes and his lips. He's so like there's something about him like his eyes are so rounded and his lips are so full. Like I just love his features and he just looks like I don't know like so beautiful. He I don't know, for him he's like he looks like the good guy. There's something about him being handsome but also the good guy, like the guy that is going to do things right. That's why I was so disappointed in Unicell season 2. I was like, this is how they're going to end his character. I didn't like it. That's not Jin Young. Jin Young wouldn't do that. I think there is also a disconnect on how Koreans in K drama display emotions. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I should. Ji Young love language. Ah. Dio acting also is is attractive. I don't know how to say it because it's not that I look at him and I'm like, wow, what an attractive. But he looks so like a good guy. You know, like someone that he could be the good guy, like the guy that is going to do the right thing at the end. I don't know. Dio. Ah, yeah. Mm. Then then the other one that we were talking the other day, Fluffy. The guy Tehu, the Scorpio guy, the one that is in Light Shop, the one that has this very deep voice. Yes, the actor who's not married. Umte Wu was something like that. Umtegu. Umtegu. And I'm thinking about another one, but I cannot. Yeah, no. I cannot think of another one at the moment. Yes, he was very stable, very stable, very not moving much, which is scary that he's so stable. Because he's a Scorpio, I'm like afraid. I'm like afraid that he's so chill. I'm like, is something boiling? Did someone mention L? Who's L? That's the evolved Scorpio. It's just I'm so suspicious. I'm like, hmm. Ah, Jingyun is cool. Yeah, yeah. Hope he's. I don't know. He's like, I will watch. I didn't watch. I still have to watch The Witch, but they said that it's not that good. So I don't know. JB is attractive too. Yeah, JB has something. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you what is it because for me, he's not that. It's not about attractiveness. It's just that he doesn't get my attention because he's so cold or he's so like um, I'm not into Capricorn men. Sorry. except Dio, but Dio because he has a moon in Virgo, and I accept him. Lee Wook is is uh, is a Scorpio if I'm not mistaken. Lee Wook, I do love, like he's also like Jin Young, beautiful, like his eyes, like his dark eyes, and those lips of him, like I'm a sucker for those faces, like those faces. And Kai, the ultimate cup. I don't like Kai. I'm sorry, I don't like Kai physically. I don't find him attractive. I don't find him, in my opinion. I know, please, Exo, don't come for me. In my opinion, like, but I kind of understand why he's other people's favorite. Because definitely he's someone, especially when you see his solo work, And even when he's with EXO, he's like the center. Like it's not just because he's the main dancer. He's someone that he can have these very iconic moments. You know, he sort of it's like he. It seems like he every time he's going to perform, he's decided like I'm going to make you mine, something like this, you know, and he just takes over and steals the attention. So you know, I understand and I admire how powerful he is. But for me, I'm like, mm, yeah, like I would watch anything of Kai, but I'm like, I don't know. Hmm. Yes, I agree. Hmm. I like Kai, but he needs a new choreographer. Oh yeah, please. Oh no. I do love it that he's back, you know, because I know that, you know, he's so important. Like he's so important. Like I think that he's one of these idols besides, you know, the members of BTS that I'm like, you know, he has to come back. He has to come back. Like I want to see him dance. Like I want to see Kai doing challenges because you know he makes everything he touches, like everything he dances to, he makes he makes it his. You know, that's why I'm like, you know, he's a master and no one can like in my opinion, no one can top that, you know. um, besides Sun, Ateez Sun. You know, this is why now that they are going everywhere together and they are like best friends, and I believe that Kai said something like they are like soulmates to or brothers. I don't know. He said something to Sun, to Ateez Sun, that he was like, you know, you're like my role model. And Kai was like, no, 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 we are like brothers. Like, um, and I was like, that's so cute. That's so cute. That's a duo that you know. Please dance, please. Just any challenge. I want to see you guys together. Like you look so cute together. Ah, L from Infinite. Oh, you're right. Hope I was forgetting about L from Infinite. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Also Hyunwon. Yeah, of Monsta X. Yeah, they're besties. Maybe they're dating. Should we pull cards for them before I go? I'm freezing here, but you know, I just want to see. Let's see if they are really like they are really buddies and why. Besides them dancing, I want to see. You're right about El from Infinite Hope. He's beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's see. I want to pull two cards each. Wait, I'm going to. Okay, Kai and Sun. Kai, Sun. Their connection. Okay, Kai. Why? Why do I have? Mm. Could there be sexual tension in here? I got the devil. Could there be sexual tension in here? Who is the dom in here? Who is the dom? Who is the dom in here? It's equal. Mm, Okay, from Kai perspective, the King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. You are my dream come true. In the case of Sun, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Is Sun part of his family already? Like has Kai introduced Sun to his parents? Because I have the family card and I'm like did you introduce him to your family? Oh my God. And we have the devil master. There's something just very like magnetic, it's like we cannot, there's an attachment. Like I think that it started like, yeah, we hang out because we are like the cool kids, or we are like the very talented kings on in this aspect, so we kings, we recognize each other. But at the same time, with the devil, there's like this chemistry. Is like I spent time with you and I saw you, but I cannot wait to see you again. Like there's something about them being in each other's lives like all the time. um yeah, and I think that from Kai perspective, definitely Kai is really honest about what he says, or if he shows generosity towards San, or if he gives them advices, or if he even, I don't know, gives gift to San. There's something about him sharing his wealth, his stability with San. He's like, come over to my house or come over to my place, and I will give you this that I have. And thinking that he's an earth sign as well. you know there's something about him with pride, and also the Nine of Cups is like, I'm feeling so emotionally satisfied right now, or I'm feeling so much, I'm feeling successful and I'm feeling happy when I'm with you. So I want to share everything that I have with you. Like I like endlessly. Like, what do you need? Do you need contacts? I will introduce you to people. Like, do you need this? Do you want this? Like, I will give it to you. Like, there's something about him being so generous to Sam, so generous. Like, from a place also of protection. Like, really, like, do you need money? I will give it to you. Like a brother also. Yeah, like a brotherly, a protective brother kind of energy, and also from someone that has been in the industry longer. He's very stable. He doesn't need to impress anyone. He's like, I'm just happy showing you around, or showing you how my life is, or letting you enter into my house. Like, I'm just happy, I'm showing you like what I am. Like, definitely Kai feels very good around Sam. He feels like he can be himself, and he's just so. And in the case of Sun, Sun also is like the Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. There's something about also about Sun probably also being very communicative with Kai. So this is why I'm like, I can see him going to his house. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Um, like, is a Sam also involved in this? Because I can see Sam going to a Sam as well. Like, buildings, legacy, like him being invited, him being welcomed, him being showed around, like, all the opulence, all the richness, everything is available, everything is fancy, everything is beautiful. And there comes Sun. Sun that is very intelligent. Sun is a very intelligent guy. He's a very intelligent. I think that there's something, he has a lot of ideas also. And I think that this is why they connect. because both of them are very rich in that sense, are very original, are very good at um, at sharing this. Like they don't act from a place of, oh yeah, I have to be with you because you are famous or you are more famous than me, and I have to build connections with you, and I have to be seen with you, and we have to do this because this is good for us. No, both of them are kings. So both of them in this connection, at least, it feels like very stable, and it feels like I go where you are, or I go and see you because I love spending time with you. I love learning things from you. And probably there's something about Sun's honesty or Sun's way of communication that is very refreshing for someone like Kai, because he's like, wow, like you are really wise, or you are very intelligent. Like there's something about really Kai like being very comfortable with Sun, and somehow hearing Sun's perspectives, or maybe hearing him talk about his own experiences in the industry so far. There's something about him having a lot of respect for Sun's minds. There's something about like, yeah, tell me more. Like, what do you think about this? I have this idea. What do you think about this? And I wouldn't even be like shocked if Kai actually asked Sam for advice. Like let me know what you think of this that I'm going to be doing, or this that I want to do. What do you think? Would you do this like this, or would you change it? Even for choreography or something like this. So this is very important. And the good thing, because in the middle, we have the devil. So it says master. So if in here I will have, I don't know, from some of the parties, I will have a page. I will have like a knight. I would be like, okay, here there's power, this balance. So definitely there's something about one, trying to manipulate the other, or one trying to create this power struggle, like, oh, I'm superior than you, or I'm older than you, or I'm more famous than you. In here, no. I think that the thing with the devil literally is that there's a need for um there's like an attachment, that maybe for the audience they're going to be like, but since when are you that close? Like since when? Like what, when did this happen? Like, because they will not let this go. They will talk about each other, and people will probably think that they're dating, because there's like, the two of them are like this, like attached, like like, and the other one doesn't want to let go of the other one. The other one is like, okay, yeah, you can have me. And it's like they there's it's like as if they need each other. I don't know, but they could be potentially like really good friends. Aqua Moon and Gemini Moon, they get along naturally. Yeah, it must be that. It must be that. But for Kai, it's like, wow, it's been a while since I met someone so intelligent. Because I think that, I often said this about Kai. Maybe it's his moon in Aquarius. That sometimes there's, when I read for Kai, there's certain things that I'm like, I don't get Kai. Like, especially when I talk about romance, he's so peculiar about the way he communicates, or what he does, or what he says. So, but I think that there's something about Sun, that Sun probably is like that as well. So they have their language, their own language. They get each other. They get each other, and they're so happy to be together. So, and they cannot get like get over themselves. It's like, the more I see you, the more I want to spend time with you. So it feels intense. And they know they cannot dominate each other, because the devil is also that. Like, when you think that you have like the an advantage over the other sort of is like, they surpass you, and they are like, we are equals. Like, calm down. We are both kings, so calm down. So I think that that's also part of the appeal, that same level. how did we end up from talking about actors to here? I have no idea. I have no idea. But yeah, this probably has been like the most exciting bond that we had seen so far. Yeah. Ah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it's Gemini season, guys. Is already clicking on us. It's already clicking on us. So I think that we will go back to the 4 hours live streams. Remember, if I wasn't freezing here, I would be until 4 hours. But because I'm freezing, I will have to go. uh, because I'm really freezing. Like I'm trying to touch my hand, and I'm like, but I'm freezing. No, the 8 hours. Oh no, I will have to get definitely. I will have to get the next week. I'm going to, get a heater here, because I'm freezing. I swear, guys. Like I'm trying to play cool, but now that is getting colder. Like here, when it starts to be like 5 p.m. or near 4 or 5 p.m., it starts to get really cold. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Um, yeah, thank you. A question to the tarot, Samara, send me an email or send me a message on Discord. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you on Sunday if everything goes well. Thank you, guys. Bye.